Hi, this is Erickson from North Star Ag. Today we are going over the setup of a rate controller on a A-26 FAST Sidedresser. First thing you start with is your profile name. You can name it whatever you want, but I always just do generic things, put in Sidedresser. Then we go with our machinery type. And so what this is telling the machine is what are we doing? What are we pulling behind the tractor? So it's a liquid fert tool, application width, then we talk how wide are we running. So a lot of times we're 60 feet, 66 feet, 40 feet, something along those lines. So we're going to treat it as a 23 row 30 is what we're doing here. So 60 feet, we'll hit it again. So here we have one ECU with one product is all we got going on. Application type, it's going to be liquids, gallons per acre is what it's going to be. Product, application mode, we're going to do just straight up liquid. And then what you see here is it says what exactly it is. Conventional liquid application, application rate is entered and documented as gallons per acre. Number of sections, a lot of our new units are coming in at 5 sections. So we just add that in there. So this is where you can change the width of your section as it says right there. All these are coming in as equal width, but you can get multiple different sections if you plumb things up differently. Sometimes they'll have the splits so they're right at your fold, so you know you're going to have different widths for the section. So here we're going to go all equal widths, but it depends on how many rows per section will depend on how wide these are. Auxiliary drivers, we have none. That's a pretty special thing, so we'll just skip through that. Here it gives you a breakdown of the product one and your sections. Pressure sensors, we're going to treat this one as if we don't have any. Some will have pressure transducers, some won't. A lot of times side dressers don't have those. Agitation, that's if we have a special electric agitation. We do not count in the hand valves for the agitation. So we are going to just skip through this. Control valve. A lot of times we can have all sorts of different things. So standard is that STD valve, the butterfly valve. PWM close is what your PWM hydraulic valve is on your motor. So that's a really common route we are going with anything new now. So coil frequency will be set at 60, PWM high limit. Starts at 100, we usually can bump it down to 90 just to save on the pump a little bit. PWM low limit, a lot of times we like to do like a 15, so then we don't try to go lower than it can start at. A lot of times we'll do a PWM start of 20 just so it doesn't take so long to ramp up to the correct pressure. Flow meter calibration. What you'll do is go and find the numbers off of your flow meter and you'll enter them into here. Be careful that we know what units they're in. Sometimes they're in hundreds of gallons or just straight up gallons. So we'll put in something 3,500. Right here is where we can change the gallons. So gallons, tens of gallons, hundreds of gallons. We'll do 3,500 at 1 gallon. Oh, we don't have a tank fill sensor. That doesn't matter. Tank capacity is what I was trying to click on. It's going to be a 2,600. So we're going to, 2,600 gallons right there. Current level, we're going to just leave that at 0. Tank level, low tank level, this is where your alarm comes on. So I'll do it a lot of times at 500 gallons. Turn my alarm on. Max fill PWM, that's to fill itself. So we don't need to worry about that. Now we come to the product and we add our rate. So we can do, let's say 15 gallons. 30 gallons, 45 gallons. So what this just did was my rate 1 is 15, my rate 2 is 30, my rate 3 is 45. That is going to give me my quick and easy bumps that we can go to when we're going up and down the field. We're going to just say the bump rate is 5. That doesn't really mean a whole lot unless we go to manual mode, which we don't try to go there. Off rate, this is setting your alarm up. Off rate 20% will yell at you. Enter minimum flow, required rate to maintain spray pattern. Not doing a spray pattern, so we don't have to do a minimum rate. If we wanted to come in and say 20 gallons per minute or something like that to maintain a decent streamline, we can do that also, but we don't have to here. So at any time here, we can always go back. So we go back and we can just keep on going back. So if we screw up in here, don't worry, we'll just come back to it. And even if we hit the end button like I just did, I can show you how we can come back and fix it. So this is the page you're going to see when you hit that end button and it comes to the main page, right? So this is the settings page that we're going to have everything that I just did comes to this, and we can come in here and see I can change to the PWM close, I can change the response rates, I can come in and change the settings like we talked about, right? The high, the low, the setup, everything like that. So, like I said, if we screw up in the setup, it doesn't really matter. We'll come and we'll hit our back page, and now this is what we want to see here, right? We need to see gallons per acre, we need to see the different sections, and we need to see the volume. So what we can do here, we can always go and do a self-test. This is going to let us test it sitting still. It's going to give us a speed. We have a rate. We can turn it on. So this needs to be on. This is making it automatic. And then we have everything running, have your hydraulics running. You hit your master, which is your foot pedal. This turns on. It says it's not recording anything. It's trying to work. It shuts itself off. It's going to yell at us saying it's not going to work because we don't have anything reading on it currently. So other than that, this is what we like to see. We like to see the equal section. We like to have different rates here, all that good stuff. So we already set up the side dresser, and I wanted to show you how to go in and change a few of the settings that I said we can always go back and change, right? So the most common setting that everybody changes is your rate, right? Rate 1, 2, and 3 are all 3 different numbers, 15, 30, 45. All we have to do is go and hit our settings button right there. Always go to the settings. The gears take us to whatever we need to change, right? Second thing we do is hit that tab right there that looks like a gear with water and seed falling below it. We can come here and we can change this to whatever we want. We want to do 25, we can do 25. We want to make it 300, we can do 300. That's going to be a pretty hard rate to hit, but we can do it. Another thing you see down here is your RX or predefined. If you want to do an RX, it's all on the John Deere side. You go down to setup, you go up to your work summary, right there, make sure we got the products and everything set up, right? So the product name, we want to do 28%, hit OK. Now we come in and the target or RX. So we just hit that. We want to tell it we want to do an RX, a prescription. We come in here and we hit that one and we hit OK. And then it's going to bring up what the map looks like. The look ahead, the multiplier by 100%. If we want to do 110, we can. Right? It doesn't matter what we do there. This is all on the John Deere side just to tell us how to read it. So we hit that, we bump out, and now it's going to give us a 0, 0 because we're so far out of bounds. You can see down here like we're not anywhere in the map. It's going to be a 0 rate. We're out of the field boundary. If we want to go back in and turn it back to your straight rate, you hit set up on the Deere side, go and hit that. Go back into your prescription, controller rate, hit OK, go back to your main page, make it a rate, away we go. Now we're 25 gallons an acre again. So if our rate is, we're trying to shoot for 25 and we're coming in at 30 gallons an acre, that means we're over applying by 20%. And all we need to do is go in and lower the cal number by 20% then. It's going to be pretty simple. Again, we just go into the settings, the gears. We go to the rate sensor setup, and now we got a flow meter calibration, right? So sorry about that, your flow meter is your cal factor. So if we need to lower this by 20%, you do 3,500 times 0.8 is going to give you your numbers. 2,800, oops. Boom. Now we lowered our rate or our calibration value, and now we're going to be accurate, and then we'll just have to follow the rates, make sure that we're applying the correct numbers. Down here is our totals. So if this says we were applying 100, we actually apply 100 gallons total, then we're accurate. It can always change. You can always go back and keep adjusting things. If we screwed up anything here when we did the setup, I mentioned that we can always come back and change things, right? So we can, again, hit our settings, and then we can go all the way over to the left-hand tab right over there. And that's gonna let us do a new program, or a new profile, edit the profile, or remove the profile. Or we can change our sections or precision farming, which we never really touch. So I'm gonna say we're gonna edit. And so while we're waiting for this to load, editing the profile goes all the way back to the beginning, kicks us off for a little bit. Just hit OK, it'll turn back on. This is where we started, right? Sidedresser, liquid fert tool. That we selected the wrong one here, we can come in and change it to whatever we want. So that part's really nice. We'll go bump through, and we'll say I missed the pressure sensor, right? I can't really have a PWM without a pressure sensor. So we're going to bump through till I find that, which should be one of these next pages here. All right, pressure sensor. We're going to say we have one pressure sensor. We're going to come in, there we go, 0 to 55 inches of, no, we're going to do 0 to 250 psi because we want to do pressure. Min, we're going to say 20. Max, we're going to say 100. Agitation, we still don't have anything there. There we go. All this is still going to be what we already set it at. So it doesn't change anything besides what I just changed. So we'll just hit that. We'll say resume work. That's no big deal. So now it's yelling at me saying the pressure sensor is not detected because we don't have one hooked up. Here everything is the same. We'll go back to the home and you'll see a pressure right here. So when we start running things, that will populate itself now because we said it has a pressure sensor. Otherwise, everything else is identical to what we had before. Thank you for watching. As you can tell, the setup on the Raven RCM is very simple. If you have any questions, please stop in the store or give us a call.